Welcome to NVIDIA Intermediate. In the previous task, we took a look at calculating value at risk for a single stock, which was NVIDIA. In this intermediate task, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a portfolio of stocks that are composed of NVIDIA, AMD, and TSMC, and we're going to look at how we can calculate the value at risk figures for a portfolio. There are different approaches to doing this. In the advanced task, you are going to be taking a look at another approach that is going to involve looking into how each component is correlated with each other and how that might impact the value at risk figures. But in this case, what we're going to do, we're going to keep it a bit more simple. We're going to treat the portfolio as one entity. So we're going to treat it as if it was one time series, and we're going to calculate its returns, its mean return, volatility, and then we're going to calculate the value at risk figures for different holding periods. To start off, we need to calculate our portfolio value. As you can see on the right, we hold 4 units of NVIDIA, 8 units of AMD, and 3 units of TSMC. To simply calculate the portfolio, we can use the function SUMPRODUCT on Excel, where we can multiply the price by the units of each corresponding stock and then add them together to get our total portfolio value on that day. So our first array is going to be our prices on the day, and then we want to choose our units. But we need to make sure that when we drag the formula down, the units stay the same. So we are going to put some dollar signs and keep the units fixed. And once you've gotten your portfolio value, you can simply drag this down to get your portfolio value on every single day. And now, as we've calculated this, we can treat the portfolio as one entity, and we are going to start calculating its log returns like we did, for example, with NVIDIA in the beginner task. So we are going to take the natural log of today and divide it by the portfolio value of yesterday, and you should get a log return here, and drag this down, and you should have your log returns for your portfolio over this time period. Next, as we've done before as well, we are going to calculate our mean return. We're just going to take the average of our log returns. Then for volatility, we are going to use our standard deviation formula. And again, we're going to take the standard deviation of our log returns. For a confidence interval, again, I'm going to use 0.99. But once you've submitted your work, you can change this as you wish and see how, when the confidence interval levels decrease, how the VAR levels might change according to that. For the z-score, we are going to use norm sinv, and we're going to do 1 minus our probability, which is our confidence interval, to receive a z-score of minus 2.3. Now, to calculate VAR, in the beginner task, what we did was we took the formula and we did it step by step, but this time we're going to write the entire formula out. And to do that, we're going to start by putting our minus sign in front of the brackets. We're going to choose our mean return. We want to make sure that we keep this fixed when we drag it down. And then we're going to go ahead and choose our holding period, which is 1. Then we're going to add this to the product of the z-score, which we also want to keep fixed. And we're going to multiply this by our standard deviation or volatility here. We want to keep that fixed as well, as that will not change over the time period. And then we want to multiply this by our holding period, but remember to take the square root. And once we have closed the brackets and have entered our formula, you can see the VAR value is 4.15. And you can drag this down all the way to the end to get all of your VAR figures. Again, VAR telling you if you were to hold this portfolio for 10 days, you can expect to lose 13.26% with 99% probability. And you can check out how the VAR values will change when the confidence interval changes, and do that after you submit to have a play around and have a bit more understanding of VAR. But again, to repeat, if your 10-day VAR value is 13%, you will not lose more than 13% over a 10-day period with 99% probability. That is NVIDIA Intermediate. See you on the next task.